Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at the ThruNite TN11S version 2. ThruNite was kind enough to send me this flashlight for a review, so thank you very much. This flashlight runs $49.95 on Amazon or directly from the ThruNite website. Amazing flashlight. This is, again, version 2, which means there was one that came before. This is the version 1. You could see how close these look like each other. The big difference is you can see that the button right there on the tail cap, the side button, because you have the tail cap clicky type buttons, both with the momentary, so they're the click forward, not the reverse clicky. So you do get the momentary, but you can see how the operating button, I'm turning the wrong one because everything's backwards on the camera, that you cycle through the modes is a different color on the new version as opposed to the old version. Another big difference is that the new version puts out a lot more light. So let's take a close look. So if you decide to go ahead and purchase this TN11S version 2, you do get this flashlight. You get a nice case. I do despise Velcro just because of that noise. But on the back you get a lot more Velcro and a button. But you can put it on and off your belt without taking your belt off, which is nice. I despise Velcro. And looks like good quality ballistic nylon. I think it's, well, I don't think it's ballistic nylon. Well, some of it is, the thicker stuff here, but some of it isn't. So, but it's all pretty good. So I would consider the holster extra but average. You have a clip that you could go ahead and pop on your flashlight if you want to go ahead and I guess wear it on clip it to a belt or in your pocket. You have some extra O-rings. That's important because O-rings do eventually deteriorate, especially if you open and close this flashlight a lot or use it in very harsh environments, and they do eventually get brittle and break. So it's nice that they throw in some extra ones. You have a lanyard with a little clip thingy right there. So nice. And you get some extension tubes right there. So you get the extension tubes because they give you a variety of options for power. You could either use one 18650 or you could put both of these extension tubes on. You can see they're two screwed together, and you can actually use two 18650 rechargeable batteries. These are 3.7 volts each. Or you can use CR123s or even the rechargeable CR123s, and you could actually have 4 CR123s in here if you put all these tubes on. One word of warning or caution: if you use the rechargeable 123s, don't use 4 because then you'll exceed the working voltage of this flashlight. And I'll put that warning as well as links and all the information I'm going over in this review below in the description box. Alright, you don't get the batteries when you get this flashlight. You get all this, and of course you get a nice instruction manual which goes through all the operating and features kind of information. So I'm going to go ahead and put most of this aside, and we'll go ahead and pop in a flashlight. Or we're going to put a flashlight in the flashlight. Really makes sense there, Fred. We're going to put a battery in here. Go ahead and unscrew the tail cap, and very nice threads as usual. As in most ThruNite flashlights, it has square threading, so it doesn't come to like a sharp edge. This is a square threading, which makes it more durable. And whoops, there's a sleeve in here, so if you decide to use the CR123s, you would use the sleeve to keep them from clanking around. Some cheaper models of flashlights from other companies will not give you that sleeve, and then you'll get that battery rattle in there. So it's nice that they throw that in there. And that's immediately coming on. but I don't want to show that off yet. Go ahead and turn this off. So let's go ahead and go over the features. This flashlight has that Cree XM-L2 U2 LED, which is an upgrade from the old version 1, so it makes it brighter. You can get this light in 2 different colors or 2 different temperatures. You could get the cool white version, which is this one, or you could get a neutral white. And when you order it, you could choose with a pull-down menu on the website which one you would like. The difference is cool white is a whiter white. Really good for seeing through the darkness better, through fog, through everything. It just sort of cuts through that darkness, and it's the best to light any situation. The neutral white has a slightly yellowish temperature, a warmer temperature. I guess is the best way I could describe it. And what that does is it keeps colors of whatever you're illuminating more natural. So if you want to maintain the natural colors of things that you are looking at, you would go ahead and get a neutral white. I might go ahead and do a video on the differences between cool white and neutral white in the future, but there are some out there on YouTube. So if you do a search for that, you can find it, including I think one from Cutlerylover, where he does a good video. So let's go ahead and go down to features, starting with the front. I already went over the emitter, and you can see it's in a deep, smooth reflector. So this should be a very good thrower. It should throw that light downfield really good, and we'll go over how far that is when we go over the specs. You can also see there's a steel crown bezel, good for defensive cracking of heads and things like that, but it also serves another good purpose that I like, and that's if you were to leave your flashlight on, which I'll go ahead and do here, and set it down, you could see that there's some light leaking out. You would know that you left your flashlight on, so I do like that feature. Has like a nut pattern right here, and of course you have your cigar ring here. All those things help keep this flashlight from rolling away, which I like. And of course, if you put that pocket clip or that clip on here, that's another thing that would keep this from rolling. There's some heat fins here to help dissipate the heat, because yeah, this is going to be putting out some serious lumens, so with all that light comes some heat, so you need to be able to dissipate that. So you have some heat fins. You have some knurling here to help with traction. You have a cigar ring that's removable, and unlike some of the other flashlights out there, this is made out of aluminum, just like the rest of this flashlight. So it's a good strong steel. It's not cheap plastic, and that cigar ring is like if you want to hold it like this in some sort of tactical hold, or you know, if you have your firearm, you could do the CIA carry or FBI carry, whatever they call that, or hold it like that. So really nice touch there. Going back to the tail cap here, there's some notches cut in there to help you get some traction, so you can go ahead and, you know, screw off your tail cap. Now you have 2 buttons back here. You have the mode selector where you could cycle through low, medium, high, and strobe functions, and then you have your on-off button, which also has the momentary, so it's a forward clicky. Forward clicky is when you start pushing it forward, before it clicks, that light comes on. See that? So what that enables you to do is to use a momentary, just lights. You let it go, it lights. It goes out. But if you continue pushing, it'll click. It'll lock it on. So that is a forward clicky right there. Alright, so I want to make sure I went over everything. You know what? I missed this. The glass here. It's glass. It's anti-reflective, tempered, high-quality glass. It's not cheap plastic. Another thing I like very much about ThruNite. Good, solid, very thick barrel in the metal and the aluminum. Really well-made flashlight. So let's go ahead and run down the specifications really quick. Again, this runs on either 1 or 2 18650 batteries. Now, the working voltage is between 3.3 and 12 volts, and that's why I said if you do decide to put or utilize 4 of the rechargeable CR123s, you're going to exceed the maximum voltage. So it's okay to use 4 of the regular CR123s, but not the rechargeable ones. Or you could use the two 18650s, or you could use a single 18650 with the configuration that you see right here. As far as outputs go, maximum lumens, if you utilize one 18650 battery, which is what you saw me put in here, it will put out 990 lumens. It'll run for 110 minutes. Now if you added the extension tube, added another 18650, the thing would put out 1163 lumens. That is absolutely amazing. But I mean, it's amazing that you're almost putting out 1,000 lumens in with just this flashlight right here. So your runtime with the single 18650 is 110 minutes. That's almost 2 hours. Now on the medium setting, it is 108 lumens for 7 hours. On the low setting, it's 5.2 lumens for 20 hours. And of course, it'll be different if you had two 18650 batteries in here. But I don't want to make this video much longer than it's already going to be. The throw of this flashlight, again, I said this was a good thrower. With a single 18650, you're going to throw light up downrange about 375 yards. If you had two 18650s, it would go 400 yards downrange. Now this flashlight is impact resistant to 6.5 feet. It is waterproof to the IPX8 standard, which is 5 feet underwater. The weight of this flashlight is 6 ounces without the battery. Dimensions, it is 6.4 inches in length, and at its widest point, which is the head of this flashlight, whoops, it is 1 inch. Now another thing I like about this flashlight is the operating system. It's extremely simple to use, and one of the things I really like is the instant access to the strobe feature, because you know, if you need to defend yourself before you have to use this as an impact device into someone's head, you could easily just hit that mode select button right here, and you could hopefully just disorient the person with that strobe feature. And it's really amazing. I mean, it's that full power of light strobing, and it is very, very disorienting. Now you can see how it changed frequency, so it does sort of get faster and slower just to be even that much more disorienting, and it stays on until you hit it again. So you could either do a short press and let it go, it acts like a momentary, or if you press and hold it for a couple of seconds, and I think it's like 4 or 5 seconds, when you let go it'll just stay on. And wow, I could feel the heat of that light out here already. Now for the other modes, you would go ahead and just turn it on with the tail cap switch, and right now it's on the low setting, and then you just hit the operating button or the mode select button again. You're at medium, you hit it again, it's high, hit it again, it goes back down to low. Now let's go ahead and set it to medium right there. I'll go ahead and turn it off, and if you turn it back on, it will remember the last setting. So it has a memory, and it will remember any setting, the low, medium, high, but not the strobe. Now in the comments of some of my past ThruNite videos, I've had several people who, you know, want to try to save money, suggested, why don't you just go to so-and-so website and get one of those cheap, no-name, Chinese manufactured flashlights. Like here's one example of a sort of a no-name. Let me show you the difference right here. This is supposed to be about 1,000 lumens also, so we'll go ahead and punch that down there. And now I'm going to take my ThruNite flashlight and punch it down here, and you could see the difference right away. This has a normal spot and a flood that you would normally see in a flashlight. For some weird reason, like this one that has this weird zoom feature, doesn't even have a spot. It's weird. It's just all flood, which I don't know, someone might like. And when you zoom it out, you end up seeing a square, and you have these weird I don't know, archives or you know, weird artifacts all around. So you know, the quality of it, you really get what you pay for. So the ThruNite, you get a standard hot spot or spot, and then you get your flood. So your you know, you have a more functional, a more usable type of light that we're all used to. So we'll go ahead and just take a look at that so you can see what that looks like. And again, oh, I didn't even have it on the high setting. Ha! So, whoops. I just want to show you the difference. There we go. This is supposed to be 1,000, and this is about 990 lumens, and you can see the difference that the ThruNite is putting out way more light, and the cheapie is not even getting close to what they're claiming. That's 1,000, you know, lumen basically, and it feels like you're out in the sun. You could feel the heat. It absolutely is amazing. So let's go outside and do some testing on this. So we're out here in my backyard. I have a tree right here that's really close, and it's about I'd say about 7 yards. And then the corner of my fence line here, we're looking at about 25 yards. Those trees, these 3 pole-looking trees here, about 30. Back here and beyond, that's like 50, and they're, you know, trees way back there, probably out to 100. This flashlight has the capability of going out there like almost 4 times more than what we could do here in my backyard, unfortunately. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is turn off the lights here, and the first thing we'll look at is the low setting, which is 5.2 lumens, and you can see it actually could get out there a little bit. Again, this is a good thrower, even with just those couple lumens, but it's not that great. It's more for, you know, close-up kind of reading applications. The next setting is the 208 lumen, which is the medium setting, and you can see that's already well enough to do everything you need to do. Obviously, even the 7 yard, 25 yard, 30 yards, and even out there 50 and beyond. You see that car that was going by way up there. I think there was like a light, hard to see. That's probably out there about 100, and it's just amazing. And I haven't even cranked this up to the full setting. So let's go ahead and go to 990 lumen. Boom! It's like a lightsaber. Okay. Amazing. It's like an alien is beaming down. Okay, I really digress, but this is just amazing. 1,000 or 990 lumens. You can see it if I put it down here. The flood is really covering the whole section of my backyard, and you can see that sun-like spot right there in the middle. So absolutely amazing. You can see my little sign out here. Let me see if I could go ahead and focus on that. If I were to zoom in, it probably just looked like daytime over there. Look at that. That's just amazing. Okay, well, it's time to wrap things up, and I highly recommend this flashlight. There is almost nothing negative I have to say about this flashlight. I mean, I like every single thing about it, with the exception of, because I can always find something, and that is, although this tail cap switch is really nice, I like the way it's done, it you don't have that little U shape here, so it can't do the tail stand. But it can sort of. You can actually unscrew the tail cap, and I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll go ahead and take the battery out, which we can make sure there's no water in there, since, okay, no water, so it did pass the water test there. But you can unscrew this ring. Unfortunately, what you can't do is unscrew it while this gasket is on there. So you got to take the gasket off, risk breaking the gasket, take the cigar ring off, and then put the tail cap back on, and then you can sort of carefully sit the flashlight into that cigar ring and actually get it to stand up. Not ideal, so that's my only negative. Everything else, the build quality, just the features, the brightness, the runtime, the operating system on how it functions, the memory, the momentary, everything else, the steel bezel is everything that I like in a flashlight and more, and the amount of brightness and the compact size, you just can't beat it. Highly recommend it. You get the whole package with the extension tubes, the clips, I even like the box. I hated their old boxes. They used to come in boxes like this, and I hated that. And then they switched over to these boxes, which are much more sturdier and easier to store. Awesome, and I'm not saying it because ThruNite sends me flashlights, because there are a lot of videos of items that I get from companies that it turns out negative, and I don't like doing negative reviews on products. I don't do it very often, so I just don't do a video. So usually everything that you see is a positive video, and just once in a great while you might see a negative, because if I didn't throw a couple in every now and then, you'd think that I just thought everything was great, especially if companies sent me stuff. But I really mean it. This is a awesome flashlight, highly recommended. We're quickly approaching the holiday seasons any day now, and if you could get one of these before Christmas, they would make a wonderful gift for yourself or for a loved one or family member, or someone's birthday. It's an awesome flashlight. Alright, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I do really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and guess what? Especially you. And I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.